Her Story as told by Jaleesa. Annie Minerva Turnbo Malone was an African American businesswoman, inventor, and philanthropist. She was one of the first African American women to become a millionaire. In the first 30 years of the 20th century, she founded and developed a prominent commercial and educational enterprise centered on cosmetics, specifically for African American women. Annie was born Annie Minerva Turnbo on August 9, 1877, in Metropolis, Illinois. She was the daughter of enslaved Africans Robert Turnbo and Isabella Cook Turnbo. She was the ninth of 10 children. Annie was born on a farm after her mother decided to seek refuge during the Civil War, in which her father went to fight with the 1st Kentucky Cavalry. Annie was orphaned at a young age and attended public school in Metropolis briefly before she headed to Peoria, Illinois to live with her older sister, Ada. She attended high school there, where she began to take particular interest in her chemistry class. During her time out of school, Annie grew extremely fascinated with hair and hair care that she began to practice hairdressing with her sister. With her expertise in chemistry and hair care, she began to develop and create her own hair care products. Her innovations were critical at a time when many women used heavy oils, goose fat, or even bacon grease to straighten their curls, which ended up causing major hair breakage and damage to the scalp. By the start of the 1900s, Annie moved with her siblings to Lovejoy, which is now currently known as Brooklyn, Illinois. Annie continued perfecting her craft while experimenting with different hair textures and hair products. She meticulously developed and manufactured her own line of healthy hair straighteners, special oils, and stimulants for African Americans. Her products were named Wonderful Hair Grower. In order to promote her new line of hair products, she bottled up Wonderful Hair Grower and began to sell them door to door. Her products were an instant hit, and Wonderful Hair Grower revolutionized hair care methods for African Americans. As her business began to grow, Annie moved to the thriving city of St. Louis, Missouri, where she hired 3 assistants to sell her products with her door to door. Annie had some of the best marketing tools of her time. For instance, she would give away free treatments to bring new customers and keep repeating customers coming back. To keep up with the demand of her growing business, Annie opened up her first shop on 2223 Market Street in St. Louis. Her marketing campaign grew as she launched a wide advertising campaign in the Black press. She held news conferences, toured southern states, and continued to recruit women to sell her products. And I believe this was in the year 1902. In that same year, she married a man named Nelson Pope, but the couple actually divorced 5 years later. Before her divorce from Pope, one of her selling agents, Sarah Breedlove Davis, who we better know as Madam C.J. Walker, operated in Denver, Colorado until a heated disagreement led Walker to leave Wonderful Hair Grower. Madam Walker took the original formula, Annie named Poro, and created her own products, and this led Annie to copyright her products under the name Poro because of what she then called fraudulent imitations. Despite the rift between Madam Walker and Annie, she moved into a larger facility on 3100 Pine Street. By this time, 7 years later, after 1902, found love again and married Aaron Eugene Malone on April 18, 1914. Mr. Malone was a former teacher and religious book salesman who was successful. By then, the couple was worth well over $1 million. As they continued to grow, the couple built a 5-story multi-purpose facility. In addition to the manufacturing plants, the facility contained a beautiful college, which Annie named Poro College. The building also held a retail store where Poro products were sold. The facility also served as a center for the African American community, and it had a business office. It had 500-seat auditorium, a dining and meeting rooms, a roof garden, a dormitory, gymnasium, bakery, and a chapel. The Poro College curriculum set a different standard for the students who attended because the students here were coached on walking, talking, and also their style of dress that was designed to maintain a strong presence in the working or business world. Poro College employed nearly 200 people in St. Louis. Through its school and franchise businesses, the college created jobs for almost 75,000 women in North and South America, Africa, and the Philippines. By the 1920s, Annie Turnbo Malone became a multi-millionaire. In 1924, she reportedly paid income tax of nearly $40,000, the highest in Missouri's history at that time. Although she was extremely wealthy, Mrs. Malone lived very modestly. She was big on philanthropy and gave thousands of dollars to the local Black YMCA and Howard University College of Medicine in Washington, D.C. She also donated a portion of her wealth to the St. Louis Colored Orphans Home, where she served as president of the board from 1919 to 1943. With her help, in the year 1922, the home bought a new facility at 2612 Good Avenue, which was later renamed Annie Malone Drive in her honor. The orphans' home is still located in this historic neighborhood. Now upgraded and expanded, the facility was renamed in the entrepreneur's honor as the Annie Malone Children and Family Service Center. Her business thrived successfully until 1927, when her husband Aaron Malone decided to file for a divorce. Having served as president, Mr. Malone had demanded half of the business, basically saying he was an integral part of the business's success. Despite the claims of this, and with the support of her employees and powerful figures like Mary McLeod Bethune, she negotiated a settlement with her husband of $200,000. This then affirmed her role as sole owner of Poro College. After the divorce battle, Annie moved most of her business to Chicago's South Parkway, where she ended up buying an entire city block. Although other lawsuits followed and much of her businesses reduced in size, her business continued to thrive. Turnbo was named an honorary member of the Zeta Phi Beta sorority and was awarded an honorary degree from Howard University. On May 10, 1957, Annie Turnbo suffered a stroke and died at Chicago's Providence Hospital. At the time of her death, her estate was valued at $100,000. Because she never had children, her remaining fortunes went to her nieces and her nephews.